Well, hello again. As you may or may not know, I am Eli, the computer guy. And wow, doesn't this feel oh so 2015? You know what the old timers say, 2025 is the new 2015, or something along those lines. Anyways, this is absolutely beautiful. Here in a nice little park in Miami, and I might be foreshadowing what's to come. What do you think about these trees? What do you think about these trees? They're not Bodhi trees. They're not Bodhi trees, but they're pretty darn nice trees. I don't think Siddhartha would be angry if we taught AI and Python under a not Bodhi tree. Anyways, things that I'm pondering. Bodhi Tree 2.0. Bodhi Tree for 2025. We might find it in Miami. Anywho, the question I want to talk about today. There's like parrots flying by. This is awesome. Anyways, the question I want to talk about today. I do these Zoom calls, these one-on-one calls with members of Silicon Dojo, and a big question that's come up from a number of the folks I do these calls with is basically how do they find satisfaction and how do they find fulfillment with their technology jobs. And I find this to be an interesting thing because I think some of this is a bit of a generational issue. And it's kind of weird how the generations work out, right? The generations that are most focused on fulfillment and meaning and all that kind of thing with their professional careers, it appears seem to have the least actual real effect on the world or understanding how their work makes the world a better place. And I think about this like with myself. Those parrots are loud. Anyways, I think about that with myself and basically with my career. Again, I started back in '96 in the Army. Went in the corporate world, got my MCSE and NT 4.0, became a consultant, had my business with 9 employees, wound up doing YouTube videos. Now I'm doing Silicon Dojo, right? And one of the interesting things with my entire career is there was never a point that I did not feel my work mattered, right? When I was in the Army, when I was a PFC in the Army, and I screwed up, and equipment went out that hadn't been properly checked. Because yes, I was 19 at one time. Anyways, I was explicitly told how my work did matter and how I did not live up to the expectations. Anyways, again, when I was in the corporate world, 24 years old, the direct line to the travel department, again, everybody from secretaries to the regional directors would come to me and they needed help. They literally could not get their work done unless I supported them. Again, being in the consulting world, dealing with home clients and business clients and those types of things, building that up to the employees, there was never a point that I didn't realize my work mattered. And then going to YouTube, and after many years and meeting a lot of people, again, the stories that I have, talking with the folks that have used my education to make their lives better, right? In all of these different steps, I've always basically known, more or less for 30 years, that my work matters. Right, and that's one of the questions I've gotten from one of the viewers, one of the frustrating questions, right, is if I know so much about technology, why am I teaching? Why am I teaching? Oh, which says a whole bunch about society, the modern world. If you're so smart, why don't you do something better with your time than teach people? Oh, if that wasn't a real question. Fuck me. Anyways, and one of the things I told one of the people I was having the conversation with is that it feeds my soul. Again, when I was back in the Army days, back before the Army days, stories I don't talk about, when I was getting my criminal justice degree, when I was doing all those things, I like helping people, right? It's just the kind of person that I am. I'm not saying what you should do in life. I'm not saying whether you should help people or not. But I find fulfillment helping people. It nourishes my soul, right? When I get these wacky ass stories from viewers that I just can't make up, right? it's fulfilling. Again, like being the Disney World of Asheville, right? Again, I had this person come. He was going from like Mississippi to Pennsylvania, driving for some reason. Anyways, they're coming through Asheville, and so we wanted to meet him when I had my classroom. So we're doing the meeting, and so I was there, and his wife was there because they were driving together. And it was kind of funny, right? Asheville, you got beer, you got the Biltmore, you got a lot of stuff in Asheville. And so I asked him, I said, so you're in Asheville, so what else are you doing in Asheville? And he was like, oh no, as soon as this is over, we're leaving. And I looked at him like, what? And his wife literally chimed in and said, yeah, I asked my husband, I was like, hey, I realize we're going through Asheville, North Carolina. Since we're going through Asheville, is there anything you'd like to do, dear? And he was like, yes, I want to talk to Eli, the computer guy. Real story. Anyways, it's goofy as hell, but it's true. Like to know my work is used in colleges. To know my work is actually used by the Air Force. To know my work spans the world. Again, Pakistan, and Africa, and India, and all kinds of places, right? That's nourishing. That's fulfilling. And I think that's one thing a lot of the new technology professionals misunderstand is they think the technology that they work with is what should fulfill them. JavaScript versus Python, right? Mac versus Windows, IaaS versus private, whatever, right? There's this idea that, cloud is going to make me feel good, or JavaScript or C# or whatever. And it's not the technology itself. Right, it's one of the metaphors that I bring up with, think about being a truck driver, right? So being a truck driver is a real skill, but, it takes you 2 weeks. It takes you 2 weeks to get that skill, right? God bless, right? We need truck drivers. I'm not snarking on truck drivers. We need truck drivers. But anyways, in the United States, you need to be 21 years old. You need to go through 2 weeks of training, and then you need to go find a job. So I want you to think about that, right? That is a skilled professional to a degree. Now imagine if you're that skilled professional, and you believe in your heart of hearts, you believe in unions. You believe that the backbone of the United States is small town America. You believe consumerism is blinding the masses towards the truth of God. I don't know, layer on a lot of this kind of stuff, right? And then think about that type of person, right? Think about the person with those core beliefs. And to be clear, I'm just saying they have these beliefs. We're not, right? This is how they feel. And then imagine if every day as a truck driver, they wake up and they drive around big trailers for Walmart, right? You believe in small town America, and Walmart is destroying small town America. You believe in unions, and Walmart crushes the hell out of unions, right? You believe in God, you believe in in minimalism or whatever else, and literally you're just driving truckloads of just crap that's gonna be used 3 times and thrown in the trash, right? And imagine you're a truck driver and you enjoy driving a truck, the concept of driving a truck, but every single day, the work that you do is diametrically opposed to everything you hold dear. Now imagine if you're the same truck driver, maybe you even got the same truck, you own your truck. But instead of moving things around for Walmart, imagine if you worked for the Red Cross or some kind of other aid services, and you took bottles of water to disaster zones. When Helene hits, or Milton hits, or fires hit, we got a lot of disasters in this country. Anyways, pick one, pick a dozen, right? When the disaster hits, you grab your truck, you hook up a trailer, and that trailer is full of food and water and supplies and the rest of it. It's the same fundamental job. You are driving a truck to take product from point A to point B. That's the job. But what you're actually doing, what your work is accomplishing, is going to be entirely different. Imagine that person How will they feel at the end of the day when they work for Walmart? And how will they feel at the end of the day when they work for the Red Cross? And I think that's a big thing for you to be thinking about when you're looking for job satisfaction and you're looking for fulfillment. So many young people nowadays, they're so damn focused on the technology. Again, I get snarky about AI. I get snarky about a lot of stuff. I've been doing this stuff for 30 years. We're 1 year off. I've been doing this stuff for 29 years. I get snarky about a lot of stuff, right? But they get so hyper-focused, right? On AI or blockchain or VR or whatever else. And you see it. You see with so many people. They're like, if I understand this technology, this will fulfill me. And what I want you to think about is, what if you flip it on the head? What if, I'll just put it out there, the technology doesn't really matter? Again, I am fully certified in crap you hope you never have to see. Again, Windows NT 4. I got my MCSE in Windows NT 4. I went through the boot camp for Windows 2000. Dfinity Audix Systems, or Dfinity PBXs and Audix Systems. 110 blocks, 66 blocks. I hope I never see one of those damn things again, right? Thank God for VoIP. VoIP is a wonderful world, right? But anyways, right? I've done all these technologies. Again, now we're doing Python and AI and the rest of it. The technology isn't that important. Again, maybe you enjoy physical work more than tippy-tap typing, right? So running cable, running fiber optic cable, or putting up radio dishes or radio antenna or things like that. Again, there's that kind of thing. Maybe you're more physical or maybe you're less physical. Maybe you want to do one thing or the other. But the technology itself, that isn't what's important. AI, I'm going to say it right now, AI is fucking irrelevant. AI is a piece of functionality. Blockchain is a piece of functionality. These pieces of functionality come together in order to solve problems. And the thing to be thinking about when you're sitting there and you're wondering why you're miserable, and you're wondering why you're depressed, and you're wondering, again, some of the young folks I talk to, doesn't mean they're poor. They might be making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year with a crap ton of equity. And they're like, why am I miserable? Because you're focused on the technology. You're not focused on what problems you're solving. When you go to work in the morning, when you sit down with your computer, is your work getting people fed? Is your work aligned with what you care about? You know, I've been talking a lot lately about the spaghetti monster. And it's weird. Again, I've been doing videos now since 2009. I had to build my own infrastructure back in the day. I've been doing videos so long that I didn't start with YouTube. I started with a Flash media server, if you know what the hell that thing was. Anyways, and back in the day, right, I really poo-pooed college and focused a lot more on money and that type of thing. But the funny thing is, when you do hundreds and hundreds, I've done like 500 interactive meetings with you folks, on top of the fireside chats and everything else that I do. And one of the weird things that I found is, again, these issues, like, you don't realize people have because you don't have them yourself. Again, like I say, my job has always been relatively satisfying. Relatively. Again, it's a career. You have highs, you have lows. Right? But anyways, right? And I know what I care about. But I think one of the interesting things, and again, why I talk about things like the spaghetti monster, is the whole question of, why are you here? And when I say that, don't worry, I'm not a Christian. I'm not about to tell you why you're here. I don't have a damn clue. As I say, I'm a Buddhist. I worry about myself. I worry about myself and the people around me that I can help. Beyond that, you figure out your own crap, right? But I think one of the interesting things in our society is, Maslow's is a hierarchy of needs, right? You need food, you need shelter, you need love. And then there's this point that you need God, you need religion. Again, spaghetti monster. And I think one of the weird things in our society is we seem to have a block. We have like this mental block with dealing with the monster. And it's not even necessarily like the religious folks you see in your life have gotten past it. I mean, just because they're browbeating the hell out of you for not reading the Bible doesn't mean they're actually, having conversations at the end of the day. And I think the important thing when I talk about that kind of thing, then again, whatever flavor of monster, whatever flavor of pasta you prefer, the thing there is asking yourself, what is important to the core to you? Like, why did the monster put you on this planet? Again, it's an interesting thing when I talk with the real religious folks, right? Because we were apparently, I've been informed by the Semitic religions, that we have been given free will. The spaghetti monster did not want slaves, right? Could have created us, could have made us slaves that would love him, her, whatever, every day, but didn't want that. We're not going to say what kind of massive cruelty that is. Hey, let's create these creatures that can make decisions and then punish them if they decide wrong. That's a layer of cruelty that's very impressive. But anyways, what we're told, right, is we're given free will. We were given free will by the monster above to come onto this planet, right? Until on Earth as it is in heaven, we're supposed to be building things, apparently. Think about all that stuff. And again, for the 3 of you that are watching us that are actually Christian, how have you made the world better today? I'm just asking. Don't answer. I can't hear you. This is a one-way communication. How have you made the world the better this week, or this month, or this year? When you sit there and you think about how miserable your life is, and when you feel so lost, and you feel so alone, and you feel so disenchanted, the thing to ask yourself is, what have you done that aligns with whatever your beliefs are? And then if you haven't done it for a day, a month, a year, could you be anything other than miserable? And so, my advice to the people that are looking for satisfaction and fulfillment in their technology jobs is to sit down with a cup of coffee or a beer, whatever drug is your choice, or no drug, if no drug is your choice, and have a conversation and listen. It's interesting. One time, right, I was talking with somebody about Om. Buddhists say Om. Om, when you meditate, Om. Om. It's like, what's the point of Om? And the point of Om is to align yourself with the universe. Not to align the universe with yourself. To align yourself with the universe. That the idea is that Om, theoretically, supposedly, it's a good story. It's a good story, we'll use it. Is that Om is the sound of the universe. So when you sit and you meditate, Om, what you're doing is you're saying Om in order to get yourself to resonate with the universe. And when you resonate with the universe, you are naturally slotted into the path you're supposed to be. Right? It's kind of like going down a road, right? Going down a road in the United States. We have rumble strips. We have rumble strips on the side. So when you're going down the road and you're not hitting the rumble strips, then you're doing it right. If you go down the road, it's you're doing it wrong. Can you do it wrong? Yeah, of course you can do it wrong. Probably shouldn't do it wrong. There's all kinds of reasons why you shouldn't do it that way. All right, the rumble strips show you that you shouldn't be going that way. And that's kind of the idea with Om, is that you align yourself with the path of the universe. And so something to think about is to take a moment, or a lot of moments, and really think about what it is, what your place is in this universe, and then to listen to figure out where you slot into it. And again, that's not a product, and that's not a technology, and that's not a certification. Those are the tools that you use to solve the problems. So anyways, those are my thoughts on satisfaction and fulfillment. Because again, it's an interesting thing. I get that question from many people. If you're so smart, Eli, why are you teaching people? Oh, goddamn. Oh, at least that question puts a smile on my face for all the wrong reasons. And it's like, because every day I know my work matters. When was the last time your work mattered? And what are you doing to move in the direction of making your work matter? So anyways, there you go. Some thoughts. Some 2015 era Eli thoughts. We're here in Miami. We're here in Miami Beach. We are looking to move here, actually. We've been in Asheville, North Carolina for over 4 years at this point. Asheville is Asheville. Many good things about Asheville. It's a good place to retire. When your career is over, you might think about Asheville. If you actually need an airport that's worth a damn, you might want to look at somewhere else. So anyways, we are here and we're thinking about it. We like a lot of stuff about here, especially South Beach. South Beach is kind of like a small town. It's like a small community. It's very walkable. There's like 3 Publix. There's 3 Publix within 2 miles. Like within 2 miles, there are 3 Publix. There's a Whole Foods. There's a Trader Joe's. There's a Target. There's all kinds of stuff. Very walkable. Again, they've got these parks. They got a beach walk. I go there. I run. This morning I ran 9 miles. And it goes forever. It's like 10 miles. It goes 10 miles one way, at least 10 miles one way. I can do a whole marathon just on the Riverwalk thing. So there's a lot of interesting stuff here, a lot of good stuff. So we're thinking about moving here. And if we do, again, something to think about with the resources that you have, like the resources that you have in your area. One of the things I've talked about is this whole idea with Silicon Dojo is like the Bodhi tree, right? With Buddhism, Siddhartha under the Bodhi tree. Like, what do you need for education, right? Again, education, enlightenment, again, whether you like it or not, right? The concept of enlightenment. Is that not the most valuable skill in the world? To understand your place in the universe and have the tools that you need to move in the direction you need to, right? And for that, Siddhartha had a Bodhi tree. These trees in India and Sri Lanka. Anyways, he sat under the Bodhi tree. And students would come to him, and he would do conversations, seminars basically, and talk about enlightenment. And basically, that's all you need. You need a teacher, you need students, and you need a tree to keep the sun off you, because India's hot. Holy shit, India's hot. And again, that's one of the things I think about with Silicon Dojo is like how can we reinvent the Bodhi tree? How can you take education, high quality tech education, and just distill it down to the absolute minimum resource consumption that's required. In all seriousness, why do American kids need to go $100,000 into debt for education? 1,000 years ago, a child could find enlightenment for free. Man, bring Siddhartha like a mango every day or something. A mango a day. I don't know. Keeps him, gets you to enlightenment. Nowadays, our kids need $100,000 in debt, and that's just for basket weaving degrees. Imagine how much debt they go into for real degrees. And so that's where I'm sitting here thinking about that. Is if we do move here, and it's nice and sunny, we got these kind of parks. What if we did like Python and AI education literally in the park, right? Because like they have 8K projectors that are battery powered, so I can have my little laptop and I can have a projector and I can have a screen. Everybody brings their chair, and we learn AI and Python in the park. I don't know. These are the things that I consider. These are the things that I think about. So anyways, with that, see y'all later.